You step outside around 7. The heat's finally let up. 10 minutes later, you're back indoors scratching your ankles. I did that same routine for more summers than I'd like to admit. And it wasn't for lack of trying. I sprayed the yards, sprayed my arms, sprayed the air, and half the time the stuff meant to keep them off me smelled worse than the bugs did. Took me an embarrassing number of years to work out the obvious. That chemical in the spray never came from a lab. Somebody copied it off a plant, and most of those plants are sitting at the garden center right now for the price of a pot. One of them, near the end of this, beat the strongest spray on the shelf in a real lab test by about 10 to 1. 9 plants. Let's get into it. Citronella grass. Every citronella candle is named after this grass, and the candle is the weak copy. I've bought enough of them to know. A candle burns the thin film of oil off its wick, then it's gone. The living plant carries that same oil, citronellol, all evening. Brush your hand through it, and a sharp lemon and pepper smell lifts across the yard. Mosquitoes catch it before you do and turn right around. Grow it in a big pot in full sun, and it'll throw up a fountain of blades by August. But the next one works a different way entirely. It makes you disappear to them. Lavender. Did you know a mosquito doesn't really hunt you with its eyes? It hunts you by smell, following the carbon dioxide you breathe out and the scent coming off your skin, straight to you. Lavender doesn't poison anything. It makes that trail impossible to follow. Its compound, linalool, floods the air with a competing signal so loud the mosquito loses you in the noise. You're still standing right there. It just can't find you. That's the vanishing trick, which is a strange thing to root for, and yet here we are. My wife kept lavender lining the front path for 30 years. Took me most of those to admit it was doing more than looking pretty. A low silver-green mound, purple spikes, loud with bees all afternoon. Holds its scent even after you cut and dry it. Now marigolds don't hide you. They build a wall. Marigold. Ever wonder why gardeners ring their vegetable beds with marigolds for generations? It wasn't for the color. It was old garden wisdom. Put the harsh-smelling plants on the outside and let their scent stand guard over everything growing inside. That scent is loaded with limonene, the same stuff that stings your eyes when you squeeze a lemon peel. To us, it's pungent and a little bitter. To a mosquito, it's a brick wall. Run a row along a deck rail or a doorway, and they'll hold that line all season, flowering the whole time and asking for next to nothing. Here's where things get interesting, though. The next one you light on fire. Rosemary. Rosemary's got a trick to it that hardly anybody bothers with. Break a few sprigs over the coals of a grill or a fire pit, and the smoke carries its oils right into the air around you. It clears a patio the way a citronella torch is supposed to. Except this one, you can also season the chicken with. That oil is heavy with cineole and camphor, and rosemary holds onto it through heat and drought better than almost anything in the garden. Most people only think about this woody little herb somewhere near a roast. Outdoors, it has a second job: dinner and the bug patrol off the same bush. Hard to beat that. 5 left, including that catnip I promised you. But first, let me give you the one thing the plant lists never bother with. None of these will save you if you've got standing water in the yard. A mosquito doesn't need a pond. A saucer under a flower pot will do, or a sagging tarp, or the kid's bucket that's been filling with rain since May. That's where they're coming from. Walk the yard once a week and tip the water out. The plants deal with the ones already flying around your yard. Tipping the water out means fewer mosquitoes ever get born in it. If you forget to tip the water out of that bucket, the next plant has you covered. Basil. Basil has a meaner side than the kitchen lets on. Its oil actually kills mosquito larvae in standing water. A pot set beside a bird bath or a clogged gutter is quietly pulling double duty, finishing off the ones in the water you couldn't be bothered to tip out. It doesn't ask to be crushed, burned, or brushed to do that job. Sweet basil gives off eugenol, that warm clove-like smell that makes it so good in a sauce, all on its own, just sitting in the sun. My grandson calls it the pizza plant and picks it bald by mid-August. So I've learned to grow 2 pots, one for him, one for the mosquitoes. Keep it on a sunny step, pinch it often so it stays bushy. You walk away with pesto and a quieter evening from the same plant. The next plant you can also use directly on your skin: lemon balm. This is the easiest one on the whole list to actually use. Lemon balm is packed with citronellol, the very same compound that makes citronella grass work. Except here, it comes in a soft, tearable leaf. Crush a handful and rub the juice on your arms and ankles. You've got a lemony repellent you happen to grow yourself. It looks like a slightly wrinkled mint, and it's in the mint family. That means it spreads fast and forgives neglect. More than I can say for most things in my garden, myself included. One plant turns into a patch you can keep picking all summer. The next plant looks beautiful, but needs a specific setup. Scented geranium. There's a catch with this one the garden center won't print on the tag, so I'll say it for them. A scented geranium standing untouched in a quiet corner does almost nothing. Its repellent oils, citronellol and geraniol, both proven, stay locked inside the leaf until something disturbs it. So you don't plant this one for show. You plant it where people and pets keep brushing past. Along a path, spilling out of a hanging basket at shoulder height. Every bump bruises a leaf and puffs that oil right where you're sitting. Give it some traffic, and it earns its keep. Now there's one that actually kills them: chrysanthemum. The bug spray in your garage may be mostly this flower, sold back to you at a markup. Chrysanthemums produce pyrethrin, and pyrethrin isn't a mild deterrent. It's a genuine insecticide that goes after an insect's nervous system. Companies have been pulling it out of these flowers and bottling it for decades. You could just grow the flower instead. They're those dense, mounded blooms that flood every garden center when the weather turns. Deep reds, golds, burgundies. One thing worth saying at the counter: the strongest source is the Dalmatian type. Ask for it by name. I didn't the first year, and ended up with a very pretty border the mosquitoes treated like a salad bar. And the last one beat the spray can in the lab by 10 to 1. Catnip. Everybody knows it as the stuff that sends house cats rolling around the floor. Turns out the same compound, nipetolactone, wrecks mosquitoes too. Back in 2001, researchers at Iowa State put catnip head-to-head against DEET, the chemical in nearly every can on the market. Catnip came out roughly 10 times more effective than the active ingredient in that can. 10 times. Growing as a scruffy gray-green weed that spreads on its own and shrugs off bad soil like it owns the place. Crush a few leaves between your fingers, and what lifts off is the strongest natural repellent on this entire list: 9 plants. Every chemical in that can was only ever borrowed from one of them. Grow these instead. Trust me, you'll never need to buy that spray again.